know what the fuck is up.
Tell them the shit I'm on, nigga. And then I shine like cone with it. Pain them bitches over in the splits that I get it, I live it, I'm on, nigga. Trophies on top of bands, over my hands, bringing it home, nigga.
Fuck 'em up, turn back to the point, they really walking wrong, niggas. Damn, him
Stay with the bow and never land. I'm a king of beats, the M.A.G. When it comes down to it, I got the print. Gotta keep the world up in my hands. I'm taking time with dynamite. I bring this shit like J.J. Evans. Them things don't break, I bet I kill them bitches where they stand. I be blowing up, man, I blow your mind if you step into my land. Raise their eyebrows, turn their heads. When they hear me, they like damn. Getting money with the tune, I'm rolling on beats like Space Jam. When you hear, say that's my jam. Kick it, rappers out the name like damn. About to feel this pain no more. And T-Code with his love of the bed, I make it, take it out, I'm washing. Been cleaning out my closet, all you niggas like I'm Marshall.
He rappers up this time, I grill them, cook them up like barbecue on bake.
It's in blood, sweat, and tears, what I get this shit.
Oh man. I'm gonna just say this at the beginning of this video because this obviously gonna get posted. You know, the audience don't even got to be here right now. I'm just recording it live. Again, it's gonna post later. But this Diddy stuff is fucking insane. I mean, in case y'all don't know, this guy, who I'm about to play the video, he's one of the guys that I believe was already, you know, on trial. Like he already, you know what I'm saying? He already was, you know, questioned in the courtroom or whatever. You know, I don't know how that go. I don't know if he gonna go back to court or nothing like that. But again, at the end of the day, guys, we gonna watch it, check it out together. You know what I'm saying? I do want to say this, like, shout out to people like academics, you know what I'm saying? I think they probably like 20 days into the trial. Like people like act just going super hard. You know what I'm saying? And of covering this. I mean, I've learned that I saw a comedian on Godfrey channel, and he said he paid a guy to stand in line for him, you know what I'm saying? So he can get into the courtroom. So yeah, there's a lot of people out there, you know, shout out to Lauren LaRosa on the Breakfast Club, you know what I'm saying? People are really covering this, you know what I'm saying, consistently. Oh my God. Why does stuff like this have to happen? My bad. That's how lives be. Um, I haven't did this shit in a minute. My mic on, so I should be able to be heard. But yeah, this I ain't gotta fucking tell nobody. This fucking Diddy shit. What? This shit is crazy. I mean, I'm not saying everybody gotta know all the shit I've learned. I ain't even want to learn it. You know what I'm saying? But this shit is on another level. Like, I think it was for me, somebody that was covering this way before the trial started. like, I think it's odd how it was just like, it was so much going on. You know, they were saying like, who was at these parties and all that. And it's like, now that the trial has started, it seems like Diddy was just, it was just him. Like if he had a party or something, like it was nothing never going on at these big parties he would apparently throw with hundreds of people and shit like that. He just it's about his personal life. But like they say, he not on trial for that. But look, I ain't about to do all that right now. I have not watched this video, so again, we gonna watch it together. And please, if you on here right now, please let me know if you can hear me. I have not been on YouTube for like 4 months for real. So I definitely use my mic. I don't even have my background. But please, if you could hit the chat and just let me know if you can hear me or not, I'd appreciate that. Let's see. This is a new video. Shout out to Vlad, DJ Vlad TV. Let's go.
A little uncomfortable calling you Punisher as a heterosexual male.
Look, Vlad.
I just want to put that out there. I mean,
Why is it skipping?
I will mention the name because, you know, that's your alias. But I just want to
Hold on, guys. Hold on.
have that disclaimer in the very beginning. Just want to say that.
Man. You got
I don't understand why this
you got to keep it solid, right?
Got to keep it solid. Got to keep it solid. Well, you have a very interesting story. And I want to get into a little bit of it before we get into, you know, what we're really here to talk about. Now, you grew up in Harlem.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you said your dad was kind of a gangster around the neighborhood?
Yeah, man. Like he had a pretty good reputation, man. A lot of intimidation that.
Monday CRM has the best AI features in the game.
Especially in sales.
Yeah.
So for me, email composition works like
Vlad trying to get that money off this Diddy shit.
Got me like a lot of respect and a lot of treatment, you know, great treatment as a kid, but you know, that led him into prison at a very young age. So we didn't really rekindle our relationship till I got to my late teens because he ended up getting locked up.
What do you get locked up for?
Bank robbery.
Bank robbery?
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty bold there.
Yeah.
How much did he get?
He got 8 years federal.
8 years.
Yeah.
How much money did you get from the bank?
The crazy thing is not much, man. It was more of he didn't do like the in the bank robbery. It was, you know, how businesses do the bank drop. So he tried to rob the bank drop and, you know, it got compromised. The person had a pistol and didn't go with it.
Now, while you're growing up, when you're in high school, you had a situation where you got stabbed?
Yeah, man. Just, you know, hanging out in Harlem, thinking I'm tough. I'm at a party. Some guys don't like my friend and we get into something outside and I got the bottle. You know, you crack the bottle and somebody came from behind, caught me on the side of the neck, spent 10 days in the hospital. I had 10 stitches in, 10 stitches out. It was a really, really, really significant wound. But I mean, I'm 16 years old, man. I'm pumped up on testosterone and adrenaline. And actually, you would think something like that would calm you down, but it made you worse. You know, made me worse because I had this mentality of, well, look, I already survived it. Like, what's the chances of something happening again? And it made me a little more reckless, but luckily I found sports and that kind of leveled it out for me.
Okay, and the Punisher name came from basketball?
Yeah, man, basketball, man. I started hooping real seriously. Getting stabbed, I ended up missing a year of high school. So when I started back up,
this nigga had a whole switch from hooping to what? Basketball, and now you at high school?
I went to Martin Luther King, ended up on the basketball team. I played my junior and senior year, and actually ended up with a partial scholarship to Southern University in Baton Rouge to hoop.
Okay. Did you end up actually going to college, or?
Yeah, I went to Southern University. I went to hoop, but I still had kind of like a Harlem, even though I'm not going to front like I was a street kid, but when you're young and a teenager, you want to be tough. So I walked around with kind of that bravado. You take a Harlem kid and you put him in the middle of Louisiana and it just wasn't going to work, man. So I stayed like a semester, had a little bit of ego, didn't feel like I was going to start like I'm going to come into a Division I program and play immediately. Told myself I was going to come back to New York and transfer to Iona because my uncle was like an All-American from Iona. His name's Gary Springer. And I'm thinking I'm a transfer, and I never even went back to school.
Okay, so by 22, you became a male stripper.
Yeah.
Okay, what led you into that?
Yo, I ended up staying in a relationship with my high school sweetheart, and
What would you say to men who think therapy is a sign of weakness?
When you have a proven...
You know what, man? First of all, man, this clip.
She came home.
This clip way too fucking long, man. I'm not about to hear about this nigga. Okay, man. Are you the nigga from court that was? I guess he gotta be the guy. Oh my god, dude, who types? Look at this shit. Do y'all see this shit? Look at the.
I know y'all wondering why mask on.
Cameron reacts to the Punisher busting a nut on Diddy. Cassie face after sleeping with him. What the fuck? Nah. It's funny for the motherfucker to have the nerve to get interviewed. To brag about the shit. That shit kind of crazy. This is kind of wild, man. I'm gonna go to some more credible shit. I'm sorry, and I love Vlad. I'm not about to. Vlad, I love you. I'm not about to listen to you ask this man them types of questions. So you start stripping out. All right, man. All right. Well, that ain't the type of Diddy shit I don't care about all that shit. And I know, hold on, let me see. There is live, but I ain't even gonna go to their live. Again, I'm a little rusty. I ain't been on here in months, but I don't fucking care. Everybody covering this shit. I've been covering this shit way before the trial. I probably was covering this shit. I ain't gonna say it like that. I was covering this shit probably more than anybody before the trial. Oh shit. And then academics found out that the Jane Doe in the court.
Not only did we finally hear from Jane, alleged victim 2 in this case, another person claiming she was coerced into prolonged sexual episodes at Sean Diddy Combs' request, but we also heard the defense grill the woman who claims Combs dangled her off of a 17-story balcony. And also, the judge got quite angry at the rap mogul for the way he was looking at the jurors. That and more with Law and Crime's in-court reporter Elizabeth Milner. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime. I'm Jesse Weber. Hey everybody, this is another Law and Crime legal alert. If you receive Depo-Provera birth control shots and later diagnosed in more check,
you should switch to 1-800-CONTACTS because it's
super easy, so cheap. I save shipping costs.
But you had also the defense really grill a key witness, a woman who claims she was dangled off a 17-story balcony by Combs. But with the defense cross-examining her, the question becomes, is that true? And the judge, by the way, was none too happy with how Combs was behaving in court. So a lot to get into. We're going to get into it all right now. Let me bring on Law and Crime's in-court reporter, Elizabeth Milner. Elizabeth, so good to see you. Thanks so much for taking the time. As always, I want to get right into the continued cross-examination of Brianna Bungolan. The cross-examination continued by Nicole Westmoreland. This is a key witness. She had testified to being dangled by Sean Combs off of a 17-story balcony. It goes to the pattern of abuse of women for racketeering.
What's going on, Destin? How you doing? I don't know how to do emojis on, well, right now. But what's going on? I know you probably like, it's probably not him. No, I'm really live right now. I'm definitely live. So hard to like just fully give up when I always look at my mic. I'm watching other people create content. It's like, damn, I gotta figure out how to get on here, how to do whatever I gotta do to, you know what I'm saying? But shout out to you, Destin. I appreciate you for stopping by. I really do. Let's see what they're talking about.
If Cassie had seen this or knew about it, it goes to the idea of coercion in sex trafficking. Look at the environment Cassie was around, the violence she was around. Did she really consent to freak-offs when, Combs is around doing all these things? And Bongolan also talked about distributing drugs to Cassie and Combs. Drug charges, underlying predicate crime of racketeering. Just goes to the overall environment, the idea of drugs being used during all of this. So Westmoreland really dug in today. And my understanding is she started talking about drugs, threats, and maybe most importantly, Bongolan didn't leave.
Yeah, and so when they continued Brianna, a.k.a. Bonna's cross this morning, Nicole Westmoreland just came out with just exhibits to kind of show her. So, for example, we saw one exhibit. It was an exhibit that we had seen while Brianna or Bonna had been testifying under arrest, where Joe Tassi and the...
What's up, Smiley? What time is it? 10? What are you doing? Even like up? What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing? I know, just super random, super unexpected for me, to be on here right now. I feel like I got a little time, you know what I'm saying? At least show my face. And just a lot going on in the world. You got this Diddy Trial. It's so much that y'all know that I would normally cover or talk about. You got Lil Durk still detained. You got people like NBA YoungBoy just got pardoned by Trump. I'm getting ready for work. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, it's a lot going on in the world. A lot of shit going on. What else? I mean, it's political shit. It's just a lot going on. Like, it's a lot to talk about. But yeah, I feel like I got a little time. I gotta. Smiley talk about it all the time. I gotta figure something out. I gotta find a way to do YouTube. And like I say, it's always tough when you still on a platform. You watching videos, you watching other people's videos, you watching other people's content. You seeing people grow, which is inspiring like this. And, Smiley said, I haven't followed this trial at all. I don't know how you able to even avoid it. I think they almost at like day 20, and it was already expected for it to last like 10 weeks or 10 or 12 weeks. But this trial is honestly disgusting. That's why like the first video that I pulled up a couple minutes ago, it was on Vlad, and he interviewing a guy that was on the stand. Like he testified that he was the person, he was the escort that would have sex with Cassie, and Diddy would want this man ejaculate to put on on his nipples and weird little stuff like that. Now, like I said, I'm seeing side videos with captions saying this guy would ejaculate on Diddy and Cassie. It's just, first of all, I'm being honest, shit nasty. Like, I just think about like covering this shit all this time before the trial even started. Remember that, y'all. Remember that, Smiley, right? Y'all remember that. You remember that, Destin, right? Like, just talking about it before, but then it's like now during the case you getting the intricate, the crazy details. It's like, what the fuck did you? I ain't trying to be funny. You know how it's like people what people do when they in their own with their sex life and private, that's up to them. It's just like some shit just like, you still you kind of nasty, you weird, you nasty for it. Like, nigga, what? How do you even get the imagination to want that, Diddy? Then I hear something about his mother would make him jack off, collect the semen. I hope this shit not true. Oh my god! Like save it in a jar and then put it in her food. Nah, I can't even. I can't even really comment on that. That shit just sound insane. Like that's no. It's like it's no humanity. No. It's like I don't even understand it. Why a mother would do that. I hope that's not real. I hope that's not true. But let's listen to what he's saying, y'all. This video in specific, as y'all can see, it say P. Diddy on trial. Jane admits she was seeing rapper up until arrest. So this specific video is about whatever female Diddy was with before, they came and got his ass and detained him. And remember, he tried to get a bond like 100 times and he denied the shit. But like they keep saying, when it comes to but let me add this in real quick. Yeah, it is weird stuff for sure. Like he not. This is not what he's like facing charges for. Like the Cassie shit and all the nasty shit. That's not why he's like possibly going to jail. He's supposed to be going to jail for other shit. So they paint this picture like he was just so fucking powerful and influential, a celebrity, that he used his celebrity to do all types of shit, illegal shit, crazy shit, unethical shit, just unlawful shit, whatever. Like that's what they trying to say. That's why Diddy is like in trouble. But then you got people that's like, no, it's because he went up against the liquor company, and they been around for years. They got way more money than Diddy. Like he went against the wrong people when he tried to sue Ciroc, Daily, or whoever he tried to sue, whatever liquor company he was involved with.
Friend of hers named Bad Boy. Bad Boy spelled with an I, no relation to Diddy's Bad Boy, none of that. The photo is from April 24th of 2016 with the caption, Best Dressed Photographer. And so this was the exact same day that Bonnet accused Diddy of threatening to kill her, saying something along the lines of, I'm the devil, I could kill you. And so Bonnet says it was on or around this day where Diddy had threatened her. So I think what the defense was trying to kind of point out is maybe the dates were wrong. Maybe this didn't happen on this particular day. But then we saw another exhibit photo from May 10th of 2016 from Bonnet to Cassie. It's a photo of drugs. Now, Bonnet, while she was on the stand today, couldn't say or even remember necessarily what type of drug it specifically was, but just kind of looking at the photo, it definitely was a crystallized substance of something. It kind of had like a brownish, whitish color. I don't want to presume what it was, but you could tell it was definitely drugs, and it was photographed next to a dime. And so Nicole Westmoreland asked Bonnet,
Wait, and again, I'm guessing you can hear me, Smiley. I haven't did this in a while, especially not with a mic. So yeah, just give me a thumbs up or a yes, if y'all can hear me when I do talk.
you would agree that this was taken after Diddy threatened you? And Bonnet replied, true. you went on as business as usual with Miss Ventura, aka Cassie, and Bonna replied yes. Then we saw another exhibit photo from May 31st of 2016, and I think it was a text that accompanied with the line of "Can I get an amen?" But the photo that went with this particular text message from Bonna to Cassie again, it was a photo showing drugs, I think in her hand or in somebody's hand, and it was drugs like pills that blue and white. Also, you could see like a powdery white substance. Brianna couldn't verify what particular drugs were in that little baggie that the picture was taken with, but Nicole Westmoreland asked, you told us at the end of April 2016 that Mr. Combs had threatened your life, but you continued dealing with Cassie. You weren't too scared to do that, were you? And Brianna replied, I guess not. And so I think what the defense was trying to point out is even through allegations of threats to Bonna from Diddy or anything like that, that still she continued to have these relationships with Cassie, that she would show up back to Cassie's apartment, the very apartment where she was allegedly dangled from that 17th-story balcony. And so I think the defense was trying to be pretty effective as far as being like, well, even though you were scared of Diddy, even though you say you were threatened by him and that you were terrified of him and fearful of him, that you still continued hanging out and dealing with his girlfriend.
And weren't there a lot of texts? I mean, texts in this case, my gosh, whatever witness you want to talk about, whether it's Mia with social media posts or her text to Combs or Cassie Ventura's text, they're being used to show there's another side of the story, that if you really claim you're the victim of this tormentor and this victim of this sex trafficker, why are you writing praising texts of him? Why are you saying you love him? Why are you encouraging freak offs or trying to set them up? What were the text messages that Ms. Bongolan was confronted with today?
Yeah, we saw a number of text exhibits. So, for example, we saw an exhibit from October 8th of 2016. It was a text message between Cassie, Bonna, and I believe Deontay, where Cassie had asked them, you ladies want to come over, have wine, smoke, cooking, sleep over tonight? And I'm just kind of paraphrasing here. And I believe it was Deontay that had replied, I was just about to hit you, LOL. And then Bonna responds, yeah, we can at like 8. And so Nicole Westmoreland asked, so you were willing to go back again to that exact same place where this incident had happened, where Diddy allegedly dangled Bonna from that 17th-story ledge off of Cassie's condo? And Bonna replied, yeah. And so then we saw another exhibit photo. It was text between Bonna and Cassie. These ones from October 10th of 2016, where, and again, always paraphrasing here, Cassie in this particular message had wrote, Coolio, what are you and Friday hungry for? And Friday was Bonna's then girlfriend. I believe her real name is Sarah, but she had gone by Friday. But then Bonna had responded, cool, hit you up later, love ya, Puff wants some. And so when she was talking about this particular Puff wants some, or P wants some, as she had put in this particular message, the defense was trying to point out, okay, well, what are you trying to get P, aka Diddy, as far as a sweatshirt or a t-shirt from, I guess, their clothing line? And so Nicole Westmoreland was like, so you're asking if he wants a t-shirt or a sweatshirt? And then Bonna replied, well, we had that FaceTime call after the incident. I was trying to be cool. And then Nicole Westmoreland is like, well, didn't you tell the government during the FaceTime call that you didn't talk about the balcony incident? And then Bonna responds that she doesn't remember. So then we saw an exhibit photo from October 15th of 2016. So just
Ready to lose weight, pay less, and see results? Through hers, you can get access to Wegovy, the FDA-approved treatment for weight loss, available at 50% off the retail price. Now you can feel confident about losing weight and keeping it off, all at an affordable price. Hers offers access to personalized weight loss treatment plans that promote sustained long-term weight loss and improve your overall health. Get weight loss results that last with Wegovy through hers. Start today at forhers.com.
My bad.
Got safety protocols? Granger has the Safety Pros 2 call.
Hey guys, it's Lauren LaRosa, and you see where we are. We are here at the courthouse. We just wrapped another day of testimony in the trial of Sean Combs, the Diddy trial. Assistant Mia, former personal assistant of Sean Combs, Mia, her testimony. In the beginning of me being here today on Cross with Mia, now I will say to you guys that in the beginning of this Cross testimony, I was a bit confused. I'm like, okay, Brian Steele obviously is like the star of Diddy's defense team. I told you guys from the very beginning that Diddy's defense team had a very different approach depending on who was up. So you have Brian Steele, who is like very sharp, to the point. He's gonna get them punches in regardless. You have Mark Agnifilio, who is I would say Mark Agnifilio is a little bit more, he's not as aggressive, he's not as straight to the point. He fumbles around a bit. It takes him a while to get to his point, and sometimes he arrives there. And when he does, it's like, oh, okay, I understand, I get it. Other times, it's like, oh, okay, Mark, it takes you a minute. It might take you a witness or two after the witness that he first spoke to that kind of confused you a bit for you to fully understand the scope of his angling and what he's doing. Then Garagos, who just recently, we just found out that she's actually expecting a baby, thanks to Mark Garagos, her father, who revealed that on the Two Angry Men podcast on TMZ's podcast network. She is a beast when it comes to evidence. Like, she can dissect evidence, the way evidence was submitted, the way it was clocked and logged. Like, she is the evidence girl. But back to Brian Steele. And the reason why I broke that down for you guys is it's important to understand that, to understand what I'm about to say and what I'll be breaking down, you know, on the podcast, The Latest with Lauren LaRosa, in Breakfast Club, social media, all the places where I do the things. Brian Steele today did something in court that he had Mia on the stand. Again, Mia is the personal assistant who alleges that she was raped by Diddy 3 times. And she also talks about, you know, just working in a very, very harsh, toxic environment. Her testimony has been quoted by several media outlets as like very important when it comes to having the conversation about proving the forced labor. Now, in the beginning of the cross today, Brian Steele took a lot of time with reminding Mia of all of her post-job conversations. So, I mean, when I say text message after text message after text message, he just kept them coming, reminding me like, hey, at this point, you weren't even working for Sean Combs. You had no ties to the company, professionally, even as a friend. You would reach out to him and he may or may not even respond to you, right? And he was showing every single time. She's reaching out, Merry Christmas, love you, Happy New Year. Welcome to New York. Happy New Year. Love you. She reached out when Kim Porter, you know, after Kim Porter passed away, she reached out on Kim Porter's birthday the following year. There was a lot of continuous follow-ups. Diddy was doing the Something in the Water festival that Pharrell brought to Virginia. And this was like the first year of it. I believe it was 2019. Mia, the former assistant, is from Virginia. So when that was announced and Diddy was, allegedly a part of the lineup, she had texted Diddy and said, yo, look, I am so happy that you're a part of this. You know, you just being involved has already brought positive light to the festival and to the area of Virginia Beach. And Brian Steele, well, why would you text a man who you allege, right, after all this time, right, between the timeline of when you allege that he sexually assaulted you, there's been so much time that passed, to now, why would you text a man who you were alleging sexually assaulted you and say to him, your presence is going to make this positive already. You're thanking him for coming into your community and doing these things, but you have no reason to text him. You're no longer tied to him. You no longer work for him. Not only that, but you weren't even required to be there. You're letting him know that, okay, you're not going to be there because your grandmother, is currently on hospice and you got to say your goodbyes. And she's like, I just assumed that because he was in, my hometown, that I may be required to be there. And he's like, okay, whatever. He let that go. And he was doing things like that for a while, where he would like open up the thought of like, she just wouldn't let go of the relationship that she had with Diddy work wise and the friendship and the life that she was living during the time when she was working with Diddy, but he would never like close it. He would never just like directly say it, which is what all these attorneys do. Like that is a strategy, that is the game. That is what they do, right? So he's doing a lot of that. So he talks about the festival in Virginia. He gets her to say on the stand why, I thought that I may be required to be there. And then they talk about there was another text message that they brought up when Mia, former personal assistant, texted Diddy and said, she's remembering old.
Nah, I know I'm not fucking stupid, but it's like Diddy, this nigga Diddy left. It's like he made it seem like he was smart, but did everything dumb, like and always left evidence and shit like that too. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just like this man felt like he could get away with any fucking thing he wanted to do to anybody. If he wanted you or wanted something, you got it. That's this shit the same.
Times a lot of the text messages were her remembering the old times, and sometimes Diddy would engage and sometimes he wouldn't. And mind you, not only is this post her alleging the time period of her sexual assault, but this is also post her receiving a settlement, because when she decided to separate from the company, she got an attorney and they settled out. She took home $400,000, but she personally took home $200K after paying out her people, right? So this is post all of that. She is free. She is not, you know what I mean? Like there's no legal obligation for her to be in conversation with Diddy, nor is she working for him at this point. So Brian still was making a point. He's like, okay, so not only were we texting about Virginia and something in the water festival when you were not required to be there, right? But you text him about R. Kelly. So then they read a text. The text, and to summarize it, not verbatim, said that she had a dream about R. Kelly, that she was in an elevator with R. Kelly, and that Diddy actually was the one that came and saved her. He's like, wait, hold on. So after this man sexually assaulted you allegedly, right? You then text him about R. Kelly and you make him your savior in this dream that you had, and you were okay with doing that? And he's asking her like, well, why would you do that? And she's like, I don't know. I don't know. She just kept saying she didn't know. She couldn't explain it. She was saying that like she did a lot of, when they were bringing up all these text messages and her reaching back out, like she also reached out when Andre Harrell passed away. Just various times at various moments, she reached out.
Dad bods deserve better tees.
I found this brand called True Classic. It's your one-stop shop for men's fitted shirts.
My bad.
She had found like some Chadwick Boseman. She reached out when Chadwick Boseman passed away as well, because we found out today in court that Diddy had actually auditioned to play James Brown. Chadwick Boseman ended up getting the role, but Diddy auditioned alongside Chadwick Boseman. So when Chadwick Boseman passed away, assistant Mia reached out and was like, man, like, him passing away just brought back memories. Remember you were, auditioning to be James Brown, and she talked about the suit, and she talked about they had a bunch of, videotapes of the auditions and all these things. And she had been taking around like a camera before, allegedly before Diddy had like these content creators following him. So she had a lot of these like videotapes of just old moments and old memories. And she even put together like a scrapbook for his birthday of all these media moments from like, when they first started. It's like, the 44th birthday. And it was just a lot of things that she held on to that, she would bring back up in conversation when the moments made sense. Or when birthday celebrations and things of that nature. So when that was happening, and she's like, okay, look, I don't know. I can't answer the question.
Look, I'm gonna get back on her later. Kids done gotta find them spaces where, no distractions, but it feel good to even just